Hello. I hope you are well. I was just watching the Netflix Korean drama, which I love to watch, and sometimes they give me inspiration. I recorded one podcast about one of the dramas, and this one was obviously about the relationship and challenges and obstructions and life and death, and then the reunion of two main characters. And the last episode was just like a recollection of everything, and just like some philosophical sentences and phrases about life and how we go through this life, and obviously love. And what was said there was that Korean word for human, if you just change one letter, it sounds then the same, or it becomes love. So I just found it amazing because it's something that actually draws from other sources and resources and history and things that I've been looking at and researching and listening to. First of all, that words are spells, and I know a couple languages, and I know two languages quite well. And in English language, spell is the same as spell. So how the word is spelled, and also spell as a magic spell. And I don't think this is coincidental. I believe that what we say and how we say this, also the same as our thoughts and feelings and emotions, create our reality. And it is not coincidental that the word human and love in Korean is similar just by changing one letter. It's because in this word, I believe they have hidden the meaning of what it is to be human. And I also recorded a podcast about the meaning of life, so to say. And the meaning of life and why we are here is, on one hand, to get to know each other, but the essence of life and the soul of life is love. So I think that it is so clever, and it definitely was a sign for me, and that's why I wanted to go quickly here and say that before I forget, that this is hidden, and those meanings and how the languages were created and formed, all those meanings and magic is actually hidden in our side. So it's hidden where we least expected, in front of us. And as much as long as we look at the words, we can see how many different connotations with what actually there is hidden in the words, and how cleverly this is presented to us, like with the word spelling and like with the word human. And I'm not sure what is the native language that you speak with in, but obviously if you listen to this podcast you understand English. And I always find, as a bilingual person, I always find the other languages very interesting, and I think that speaking another language gives you this insight into the languages and opens up understanding and possibilities of how languages are formed. And obviously, because I've watched a lot of Korean dramas now, I don't speak Korean, sadly. I would love to, but I can understand some of the words, and the language is some of the words sounds very, very similar. So I think that they in these languages they are quite they are very creative. That's how I would say that. When I look at English language, is quite simple, although it's obviously beautiful, and also it transformed through ages. So maybe now we are making it more kind of easy, or maybe it's just my perspective, because the vocabulary that I'm using is not as wide as, let's say, someone who would study English literature and would be a native speaker. But in the day-to-day language, even at work, in a corporate environment, in any other environment that is more wider, so has got a great diversity with people speaking different languages and coming from different backgrounds, there's lots of people who speak beautifully, and I love when someone speaks beautifully, and it really speaks to me, and it really impresses me as well. But yes, I diverse. Looking at the magic of the language, of how the language and the words are give us almost hidden meaning. And again, I will mention my great mentor, Aaron, and he always say about the familiar and family. So something is familiar to us because it kind of stems from our family and what we are used to, what we used to experience as children. And look at those words, how those words are similar to each other. So how one draws from the other and helps us, and the meaning of those words helps us understand what we are going through, or our experiences, but also our emotions, and helps us put into some sort of structure almost, and give us great understanding of what we are going through. So the one aspect, that looking at the language and the words specifically, and looking at the deeper meaning, which is actually quite out there, very visible, is very interesting. I find it very interesting. It's almost like speaking different language, even though you're speaking in one language. And going back to the fact that in Korean language, the two words, just if you change the one letter, human will mean love. I kind of jumped on this because it's not only that I read it in a lot of books, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts and a lot of very wise people talking about this. I also feel it and understand it, and I agree with this with my whole body. So my body resonates to this sentence, to this statement, that we are here to love. And love in nowadays, it is kind of in the form of love, the relationship to people. Very often it's related to sex, and just limited to kind of two people having as a couple, as a relationship, and so on and so forth. The love there is greater. The love is the God. The love is a God particle, whatever you want to call this. The love is the universe. And what is love? Is the feeling of oneness, is the feeling of happiness, also mixed with a little bit with the feeling of sadness, that is very human. So it's a love on a human level, because really it's very hard for us, and obviously everyone, we through spirituality, we're striving to do that, to have this love as a without sadness, but also without ecstasy. So it's not love as a exhilarating happiness. Is the love that makes us calm, is the love that makes us safe, is the love that makes us content, but also accepting and understanding. This is the everlasting love almost. So is the love that comes from nature, is the love that is also forgiving. So it's something that kind of goes beyond the couple love, and this is the love that holds the universe, and this is the love that holds everything, and this is the love that is on top of everything, on top of every emotion. But also this is the feeling, the being, the soul of everything else. So it's like black and white, is like light and darkness. So love is in everything, even in the acts of, which are not great. I cannot explain it as well, but I can feel it. And maybe if I think about it a little bit more, and I invite you to think about this as well, because this is the thing. You don't, the love, the human, the cosmos, and the nature, we can say those words, and I can say them in many languages. It's what's between them. It's what's in the matter of this. It's what's inside, and this is almost something that you cannot describe. This is something that has to be felt, and also it almost feels different for everyone. It's like we see things differently. We think that our truth, so that's how I see something, is exactly how someone else sees it. That is not correct. Everyone sees things differently. A little bit differently, and you are never going to be able to say that this person exactly sees the thing exactly how you see it. We have words, and we would probably use the exact same words to describe something, because there's no other words unless we speak some other language again, because in other languages, and especially in like Japanese or Chinese or Korean, there are words that have this je ne sais quoi, like in French, something that kind of cannot be described, but this language captured that. And again, I cannot say that. I am not language expert in that, but I know of that, and I know that these words they exist. It's the same like as what I mentioned again with the Korean word human. If you change the one letter, it becomes love. So again, things can be described by us, and we can say the same similar things, although if you ask your friends about the specific experience where there were things, they can tell you totally different story again, depending on how they felt that day, depending what they went through before, and things like this. So this is the same about love. Everyone goes through love a little bit differently, with different experiences, with the different humans as they are, and that's why love is so much embedded in our humanity. We cannot go without it. So yes, that's my little things and thoughts about the episode of Korean drama that I have watched. I don't know if you watch any. I guess it's very popular nowadays with a lot of people watching those. So yes, and sometimes they very often actually they wake some thoughts and some thoughts in me that I'm lost for words now. I was talking about words for such a long time, and now I'm totally lost for words. I was thinking that I will start noting down things that I come up with, things that I would like to pass on, I'm hoping that would maybe wake something in someone, that would make them think about things differently. Because another thing that I'm gonna really try to do is I am going to try to listen without judging, without thinking about the answer that I want to give or the solution I want to give, or the next thing I'm going to say. I am just going to try and listen more. It's great when I talk to you like this, and actually it helps me so much in my work. I can definitely see the outcomes of because I talk on this platform here. Although I don't have maybe many listeners, I know some of you are listening to me quite frequently, but for me as a person, talking like this changed me, I think, gave me more confidence, and I can use it at work. I just had the other day, I had a small session with a small group of people, with about 30 people that were young graduates that just came to my workplace, and we were talking, or I was talking to them about learning. And what I said to them is that learning is the activity that they are going to do a lot, especially in their first year of work, and probably beyond that. But I also said, because I know how important it is, especially with young people, but with everyone, if you don't start young, it's gonna just grow. The meaning that the lack of confidence, if you really lacking of confidence, it's very hard to kind of grow more confident, depending obviously of what you do. But I am to those people, and I am on this podcast, how I wish someone was to me when I was that age as well, and any age really after that. So any age after 17, 18, 19, I wish I had a person like this who would really, really believed in me, and I needed that person. I was trying to find someone like that, and I couldn't find it within me that much. And it took me a long time to find this within me. And through some circumstances and through some breakups and through some really tough times, I went and gained a little bit of confidence. But I just want to give everyone out there this reassuring word, and I'm hoping that it is going to help you. And what reassuring words they were for this group of people was that actually they shouldn't be also afraid to give their authentic self and their creativity, that they should think about other people, wanting to learn from them. Because when you are older and when you are very set in your own ways, it's so nice when you have people around you who and younger people, very often younger people, because younger people don't have this crystallized pineal gland as much as the older people. And I'm talking now in a very kind of generic way, but in an age time, so in a human time, so in how old you are. If you are 30, 40, 50 and older, and you are very much set in your ways, and you are very much kind of doing things routinely. And I know this happens to a lot of people, and I am not saying, and this is their way. And whenever awakening happens for them, or if it doesn't happen, that's fine. I am just saying that having someone fresh, open-minded next to them is like putting little seeds, like what I'm trying to do now, putting little seedlings in there. And sometimes you can totally reject it and say that's just lots of rubbish, and doesn't know what she's talking about. But if there is a crack and the seedlings come in there, it can start to grow. And from this little seed, there could be a totally new person emerge. And that's what I'm trying to do. And the cracks are there. I think everyone has got them, unless you build such a strong kind of facade around you, or you maybe didn't need this facade. It's almost like a uniform, what the knights were wearing. I forgot now this word again. But the armor, that's the word. The armor around you, if you really build it and it has got no crack, that's fine, good for you. I know why you build it, because you're afraid, you want to be strong to all what life throws at you, which is totally fine. In a way, everyone want to do the same, and everyone have got different tools. But I believe that the spirituality, the love, the soul, we all need it, and we really somewhere inside crave it. That's what I feel, that's what I believe, and that's where I believe the world is going. And that's what maybe the world has been to, and then it changed. And maybe you have to go through these stages, all the stages. You won't be born spiritual in these times. You have to go through everything and to become this. And I am nowhere near there. I am still going through my stages of probably awakening and then going back to sleep, and maybe not going back to sleep fully, but kind of going back and forth. And this is very normal. In this, I could feel my calling is talking to you, is sharing this as much as I can with my shortcomings and everything else. I don't care, I just show it on there. And yes, I hope you find it useful. So this was my really small nugget of wisdom for today, and I hope to speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.